Hey, this video is coming after a conversation that we had with another person, and it just kind of made me think a little bit. Now, I did a video earlier about getting outside your rut, what holds you back. Now, I want to do one quickly with a little bit different. What do you want to be? Now, that's a good question that we need to ask, not only ourselves, no matter how old we are, but especially younger people, people who are just starting out in life, because without a goal, without a dream, without a focus, they're just kind of wandering around like fish in a pond trying to figure out, where their next meal is coming from. And I know that's normal for many of us, and a lot of you are saying, oh, that was normal for me. It was certainly normal for me. But I always had a general idea of what I wanted to do. So I think it comes down what I would recommend, 3 things. Number 1, make a list of things that you can do, and in that list, things you think you can do. And it can be a lot. It can just list them. Just list them. In the second column, what holds you back from doing each of those? And be specific. What you think keeps you from doing each one of those things. Okay? And the third one is, what are your priorities? Now, the reason I say that is, number 1, what are your talents? What are your gifts? What are your things to do? I have a friend who could be the next Jerry Springer. He could be the next controversial online person because of his personality and his refusal to accept the fact that that's the kind of person he is. He could make a fortune, but he's also one of those people who is too busy not doing anything to help anybody else because he's too busy not being busy. Okay. Anyway. But think about what you can do. What are your talents? What are your deals? This person has a lot of talents. He just doesn't want to use them. But let's forget about him. So now the next one is, what keeps you from doing each one of those? And that's the second column, right? So like for me, I can teach online. What keeps me from teaching online would go out to the side of that. Number 2, third column is, what are your priorities? Now, I think this is the most important one. After you've listed everything that you think and you can do, and then you list what you perceive keeps you from doing each one of those things, then look and list your priorities. How are these things prioritized that keep you from getting a lot of things? And you're going to be surprised. And I hope this doesn't offend a lot of people, but one of the number 1 things that I've found talking to people that keeps them from doing anything? Relationship. Yeah. Take a friend of mine, for instance. To him, at a very young age, he knows everything about love. You can't tell him he doesn't. You can't tell him, just believe me, he knows everything about everything. And the definition is total, absolute, complete honesty. No secrets at all. And that is a suicide to any relationship, because everybody needs their own private space. Everybody needs their own private time. Plus, if you know every single detail, that means you're looking to control or judge every single detail. And that's not necessary. In a relationship, that is not your number 1 priority when you're young and you're just starting out. Number 1, you need to establish your goals, your visions. Now they can help you. Sure, everybody needs some relationship. But is it supportive of what you want to do? Is it helping you get to where you want to get to? You need to establish your focus, your goal, overcome what keeps you from getting there, and then establishing yourself where you can handle your overhead, your bills, everything, all your expenditures have to be able to be covered. Now you have the ability to upgrade upgrade that relationship, or go get one if you don't have one. The fact is, if you're not self-sufficient, you're going to die because you can't support yourself. And when you bring in someone into that relationship, you just doubled your expenditures in many other areas. Your priorities change. That becomes, in a lot of people, their main focus. Oh, my relationship. Oh, my girl. Oh, I've got to do. Oh, I've got to do. I've got to help. I've got to do this. Got to do that. And they forget what their main purpose is. Get myself established. Now, people also say finances. I don't have the money. Well, you know what? I don't agree with that, because people can make money. There's ways of making money, and I won't go through all the many different ways. From selling soup to selling things online, you can come up with a way of making money. So that's not a reason for me. You may make a little money, but a little bit of money adds up to a lot of money. What is an ocean? But an ocean full of drops. One drop, two drops, three. Before long, you've got a river. A river runs into a bigger pool, and you've got an ocean. This is what people don't understand. Sometimes less is more. Sometimes more is less. Okay? So there has to be priority. You have to organize your time and allocate so much time to something. You need your rest. You need your health. There's all of these things that has to be included in there. It really, really does. The next thing that happens is another friend of mine says, oh, I'm doing a mentorship. He hadn't got a job. What's he getting a mentorship for? You see, what is the difference between a mentorship, an apprenticeship, and apprenticeship, intern, and mentor? Number one, apprenticeship is you're learning about a job. You're learning about, most of us have a pretty good apprenticeship about something. Unless it's in a construction or industrial trade. Now you need to intern it. You need to actually go in and work under people, with people, and perfect it. Be a little bit more independent with it. Get this thing going and have somebody there that can correct and teach and train and take you to the next level. After that, you get yourself established in that particular capacity. And now when you've got supporting you, now when you're developing it, now when you're creating it, when you're building it up, now you need a mentorship. Someone who's been there, someone who's retired from there, someone who's not competition, someone who can help you avoid mistakes and pitfalls. But until you've had your intern, before you've even been an apprentice, a mentorship is meaningless. It just gives you more book knowledge without experience. And experience, as the old story goes, you must have experience to apply for this job. Where are you going to get experience if nobody will hire you to give you the experience? Catch-22, circle of the dog, kind of speak. Well, anyway, this is Teacher Terry, and I hope those things kind of help you out. Make those 3 lists. Remember, what can you do? What do you think you can do? What do you think keeps you from doing it? And how can you overcome those things? And how are you organized? What's your priorities? Because if you don't have your priorities set, you're never going to reach your goal. If you're not willing to sacrifice time to reach your goal, you're never going to reach it. So, if that relationship is keeping you from excelling and being better than you can be, time to move it down a little bit. Don't get rid of it. Just lower the importance of it. Raise up what's your next priority to put you towards what you want. Find out, get your priorities straight. Get them straight. You got to have this, to have this, to have this. And once you get everything set up, once you get yourself financially set, once you get everything up and operational, then you can move that relationship up more, because if you're organized well enough, you'll have enough time to spend and develop it. This is Teacher Terry. Just something that happened, the conversations going on last night, and maybe those little things will help you. Remember, make those lists, look at them, think about them, and see if they apply to you.